Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I am willing.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight into the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We've talked a lot. Nothing left in the tank. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the 41st episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave, and of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right, I have
Aaron.
And to my left, I have
Joe. I actually had to do in my head, like, am I on the right? Is he talking about me?
Which right? Who's talking here? Just a quick update here. A couple things have changed. The Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, which you found on iTunes before pretty easily, I'm sure, has changed names. It's now the B.S.N Network. We'll get into why all the adjustments later in the show, but we have some really exciting news, and also we're kind of refocusing in on the fundamentals of our Boston Sports Nerds podcast. So we're going to lock in a lot on Boston sports stuff, and Aaron and I have reached a peace treaty after the last few weeks where we won't argue politics anymore.
Who said that?
You told me we won't talk politics anymore.
No, I didn't say that was a peace treaty. I just said we're not going to talk about it
If you want to
anymore.
do that again, we'll do it again. I'll delete it all over again. So, no, we're just going to really harp in on the stuff that the reason why we started the show and what we're doing. So we got a lot of Boston stuff to get into. Of course, we had a disappointing week last week, which I don't love. I don't love the way that worked out. So why don't we get right into the sports talk? Good. I beg to differ.
I was going to say, after the week we had, it doesn't feel like it.
That looked like Carolina's house.
Come thee, I am here to talk you off the ledge.
Okay. All right. This defense is not good.
Are they not good?
Right now, this defense is not good.
All right, let's ask some precursor questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you think the defense has talent on it?
Yes.
Do you think it has a lot of talent on it?
Less than I thought in July.
Is that because of how they're playing currently, or
because they lost some guys from July? So that would
I mean, other starters, who have you lost other than?
Well, they lost Ely.
Okay,
since July.
but they
lost
him...
Ninkovich.
Ninkerts.
Ninkerts.
I think they lost Ely because
some injuries on and off. Hightower played, right,
yeah.
But not well.
I didn't even know he was. To be honest with you, I was like, "Is Hightower back?"
Right.
And then he made a play, and I was like, "Oh, Hightower's been playing this whole time."
And then the Butler, not starting, playing well the last few weeks, better. You know what I mean? So I would say that I feel less excited as I did in July because I think some of the talent has of it's gone, some of it's underperformed.
But you think it's talent? They have talent.
They do have talent. Yeah.
All right.
Watching that game made me think of you, Joe, because obviously Hightower played. He made that one big play.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like...
We were like, oh, great.
I was like, Joe has something to say, but I was like, but that's the only play he really made the whole game.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah.
That's why I felt like my point since the beginning is, other than that one play that he makes, they don't make enough pass rush. Mm-hmm. If you're banking on him to make one turnover a game, that's a lot to put on one player if he's not going to be, especially a guy that sometimes doesn't stay healthy. He misses parts of the season almost every season.
Yeah,
right.
So
what's your next precursor?
So they have talent.
Right.
That's really the only precursing questions I have. Right. I think...
How'd I do?
That's how I expected you to answer.
Okay, all right.
If they didn't have talent on the defense, I would be worried. Like if it was clearly we lack the personnel to compete, I would be worried.
Right.
To me, it's very obvious that's not what it is. Mm-hmm. The people looking at the box score and the people who actually watch the game, I think there's two different takeaways. So if you look at the box score, it's just like, oh, this Patriots defense fucking sucks.
Right.
If you actually watch the game, I saw one gigantic, glaring problem that resulted in probably 200 yards and 2 scores. And that is Stephon Gilmore doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and consistently would follow guys that were already covered and leave the guy he should be covering, or at least who everyone else on the defense thinks he should be covering, wide open. And Duron Harmon, in the locker room after the game, said, we cannot dumb down the defense anymore.
Right.
So, which I took as a shot at Stephon Gilmore. Like,
Yeah,
he cannot figure it out.
Right.
And I think I'm going to put part of that blame on Belichick and Patricia, because if you have a guy that you paid a lot of money for and he's just not figuring it out, you have to switch up what you're doing then. Mm-hmm. And instead of making him learn what you normally do, change what you normally do. Stephon Gilmore comes from Buffalo. In Buffalo, if you watch them play, Stephon Gilmore was given a receiver. You have Julio Jones.
All day.
Your job all day is to make sure that Julio Jones doesn't catch the ball.
Right. And the Patriots are a side scheme defense.
Change it.
Right.
Because he can't figure it out, and he's consistently not knowing who to take when they do switch routes and shit like that. Give Stephon Gilmore a guy.
Yeah.
And make sure, say, listen, we'll run schemes and shit with all the other players. Your job is to only make sure this guy doesn't catch a ball.
Right.
It's kind of like, I mean, you could do that. I think with him is even like that is like some of the plays that he did get called, especially he got penalized a lot, and we were watching it. Some of those penalties, they were fucking ticky-tack at best.
The holding on the drive prior to the last one put him up 7.
It wasn't
the defensive holding where they called him and he was jamming him. He was at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it was
2 yards
hands
off
to
line
the
scrimmage.
face.
No, that was on the last
we're
drive.
talking about
he did it twice.
I'm talking about the one where he grabbed him around his shoulder pad, but they were jammed. They were locked.
They were
up.
locked
They
up
were locked
within
up.
5 yards
Right.
of the first 3
That
yards.
was on Gilmore too.
Yeah. It was just
and everyone
he
at the
got
bar,
called-
all the tables next to each other, we were like, "That's a horrible call. Like that's a really bad call."
It just seemed like he was the glaring hole, but at the same time, it seemed like the refs were. And I don't want to say it like he gets into jarring matches with some wide receivers, so the refs aren't going to be as easy on him.
Well, yeah, he got 2 hands to the face penalties.
Right.
And the first one, when they showed it, the ball gets thrown to this side of the field.
Right.
Yeah.
It gets thrown towards Malcolm Butler.
There was one play like that too.
And
Right.
he's jamming the receiver on the opposite side of the field, and the top of his finger hits the bottom of the guy's
Right.
face mask, and the ref throws a flag.
Right. That's one of the
And-
ones where he was trying to jam and he went up on him.
Yeah.
And you could tell his fingers do get in the face, but it's like he didn't.
And how does it affect the play?
Right.
Like, I understand you can't touch a guy's face mask, but
Right.
that's being ticky-tack.
Yeah, that absolutely is, yeah.
Like, 100% it's being
And the
ticky-tack.
Patrick Chung one, there's a run play?
Yeah, what, have
How
you
do
ever seen
get
a
defensive
holding on a defensive back?
fucking run play.
On a run play?
You're allowed to
Throw the guy
throw
out of
the
your
guy
way.
out of your way.
That's what
yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
Right. They call defensive holding on
That's
a
what I was
fucking
saying.
run play. That's
Oh,
The
insane.
only time you ever see defensive holding is when, like, the defensive linemen literally, like, pull the lineman out of
Yeah,
the
you like
hole.
completely pull him down to the ground
Yeah.
or something. Right, yeah.
How
Yeah.
so? How does a defensive back? How does a defensive back get?
Right. That was bad. I mean, I don't want to blame the game on
No. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not-
Right.
Cam Newton literally had 200, like probably 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns to just completely uncover people.
Right.
Like their screen pass where they all.
Oh my god.
Stephon Gilmore and the other guy took the guy dragging, and neither one of them was like, "Oh, there's 2 of us on this guy,"
Right.
and then he just dumps it off like.
Right.
And this is and you can trace it back all the way through the games.
Right.
You have the huge Tyreek Hill play. Mm-hmm. That was like an 80 or 70 something yard touchdown pass or 60 something yard touchdown pass.
Yep.
You have in the Panthers game you have like 3 plays like that.
Right.
The Saints, they seem to have they fixed it a little.
Right. Yeah, what's crazy is the best quarterback they face is the best that defense
They
has played.
it doesn't make any sense. They played Drew Brees at home and they had their best defensive game.
Mobile seems to be the recurring thing.
And then Deshaun Watson, it just seemed like they actually covered well, but you can't do it forever. And if he's going to run around back there, then
Right.
Well, I was going to say, I think and this isn't, I'm never going to make an excuse for it because I blame all the coaching, but I also think, is it they play down to whoever they're playing against? Like, oh, we're playing Cam Newton that is a garbage quarterback.
They've done that. They
and
have
it's
done
like,
that before.
oh, we're playing a rookie. He's not really that good. Yeah, but he's got other players around him that can play. Like you said, do you look at a team and go, oh, well, the quarterback's horrible? Well, the other players around him have talent. Like, they have to have talent.
Yeah, but they've never been that team where they play down.
No,
No,
but
I'm not
they
saying-
tell a lot on bad games.
They do, but I just think they get... I don't know.
I'm talking about especially defensively. They play down to who they're playing against.
Right.
And I'm not saying
they did play
that's
up to
not the
Breeze.
Patriot, in parentheses, Patriot way.
Right.
But this season it looks like that.
I
They're
think
playing down to
it
somebody.
has to do a lot with the way Belichick calls defense, too. The whole bend but don't break thing
Right.
is like...
Yeah, bend don't break doesn't work if you break every time.
Well, the thing is, now they're giving up these huge plays,
Right,
and they
which
never did that. That's
never
the
did
whole
that.
point of the bend and don't break is you don't give up the big play.
Right, you give them 5. You can try to get a sack or
To
a
me,
stop.
I literally trace all of the problems on the defense that you just saw in the past week to Stephon Gilmore not knowing what he's doing. Like,
Yeah, that was a big part of it.
it is a huge part of it.
A big part of it. And even the pass rush I thought was good.
Yeah.
Not great. Is a sort of like the Houston game. Like, they were getting around. Just they can't bring down a mobile quarterback. They've never been good against mobile quarterbacks. But
What happens is they get like almost like discouraged. Like I thought they were doing a good job at stopping the run early in the game.
Right.
Then as you know, they can't stop Carolina.
Right.
They start picking up these big runs with Jonathan Stewart, where it's just like he's just
Right.
falling
Gouging you
forward
guys,
for
right,
8
yeah.
yards.
Right. Can I pick us up a little bit here? How fucking good is Tom Brady?
He's amazing.
Down 14, like 10 minutes left, and it was like bump, bump, bump. Here we go. You know, one score.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
one
can
score.
we
tied,
talk
but
about that too?
You get
though?
you get a stop. You get one more stop. They win that game.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt.
They
in
had
my
to
mind.
stop.
Huh? Yeah, they had to stop.
stop.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They
That's-
got that play. The game over. Patriots.
That's
win
where
that
they
game.
got the fucking
Right.
hands to the face.
Hands to the face. Right. So bad.
On a sack.
Right. Right. Yeah. That would have been it, and they would have got the ball like. What was the punt before? He got him like the 49 of Carolina.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like they got the ball at midfield. With that sack, they would have been right around the probably their own 40.
Yeah.
They would have gotten field goal
It was
range.
game
No
over.
problem. Game over.
If they don't call that hands to the face,
right,
Pats win the
Patriots
game.
win the game. Right. I mean, it's just that on
Should
switch.
it
thing
have been
is
that
ridiculous.
close to begin with?
Not at all.
No.
Well, I was going to say, go back to that. Like, I always say, like, I like a close game. I like a close game,
Right.
but not every fucking
wanna take
game
years off
where
my
I'm
life.
sitting there going, why aren't we playing?
I don't like a close game.
You
I
should-
want them to beat every team they play
100
by
to
about
nothing.
70 points.
If the only time I want a close game and a good game is against a good team. Carolina is not that good of a team
No.
for them to be losing at home.
I don't think Carolina had scored more than like 17 points going into the
That's probably true.
I think that might be too high too. Cam Newton had like a passer. He had a passer rating, a quarterback rating of 68.
Right.
He had a 135 quarterback rating against the Pats.
22 of 29 with 316 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Every quarterback the Pats have faced so far this year has thrown for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
At least. Yeah. Right. Alex Smith went for 400.
And this is the thing. I still think they will get
I
better.
think they'll get better.
Don't worry, they have a rocket scientist as a defensive coordinator
yeah.
figuring it out.
Like the Stephon Gilmore problem will get fixed.
Right.
And when that gets fixed, I think the secondary looks
Start to look back at it a little bit, though, on the Stephon Gilmore signing.
yeah.
Logan Ryan signed for 3 for 30
I would have brought him back.
and not had Gilmore. Right?
Yeah, I would rather.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, and I get it.
Yeah, but he
Andrew
could end up at a
but-
team that does like you said, like Buffalo, where you just look at him and go cover somebody.
Right.
But they could do that in like you said, like when they get switch routes and stuff. If there's a guy that he has to cover, just fucking stay on the guy. Literally look. It's called communication, and like you
Right.
said, that's where there's some issues. But if you don't look back, like you could look at your safety or the nickel corner and go, hey, this guy's mine.
That's the
I'm
thing.
shutting this fucker down.
That's the thing. You can see them on the field, like communicating, and obviously it's him because he did it once with Devin McCourty in the
Yeah.
Kansas City game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it once. When we watched him do it with Deron Harmon and those guys in the Panthers game too.
Right. Right. A lot
So
of finger
it's like-
pointing.
Yeah, they
a lot
just
of finger pointing there.
I got this guy, and then it looks like they have it figured out. Then Christian McCaffrey goes back in motion across the field. They both follow him.
Right.
Like, what do you? Well, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. I think same thing. I think this team's they're gonna be fine.
So,
but
here's the thing: would you be shocked if December rolls around and the Pats have the 17th ranked defense in the NFL?
not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised.
Then you don't have to be worried,
Right.
If you think they're going to be,
also, would I be surprised? I mean, they're on pace right now to be the 4th worst defense ever.
yeah, I mean,
Ever.
Yeah,
Like,
but
not just worst Patriots defense, not worst Bill Belichick, like, in the history of the NFL, the 4th worst
the thing
defense
is,
ever.
I can see the problem with it. Like when I watch the games, I can see what
It
is
sounds
causing
like
the
they
problem.
can, too. If you heard a lot of those guys talk, they're like, oh, yeah, we know what we have to do.
Do you
We
ever
know what we
sit
have to
him?
do this week. Sit Gilmore?
Yeah,
They were talking about that. I think Rose banged up right now, right?
yeah.
So they were saying maybe not.
He just got banged, but I think he came back into the game.
He may have finished the game.
I think he got nut shotted when he went down.
Yeah. They another one that looked like the Grunk nut shot.
Yeah.
They said groin injury. I think it's the same thing with Rowe.
Yeah,
They're saying it's a groin. I don't know if it's just
But-
that ball tap there, but I don't know. If he's banged up, you probably can't. Because then it's like Jonathan Jones and Butler, and then what do you do with Gilmore? I mean,
and you can't. You don't. It's not like you have the rookie or the
Cyrus Jones,
He's-
yeah, right. He's IR'd. So, I mean, yeah,
Who's
there's
it?
not-
Batamosi then?
Yeah, but yeah, mostly, yeah.
Or you play another safety?
Right. And you're going to play Gilmore. You're paying him fucking $13 million this year. Like, you
I
gotta
know.
play him.
I'm just saying, like, I would, like you said, I almost would have just been better if they just stuck with who their defensive backs
You
were.
looked at them last year. They're fine.
Logan
Secondary
Ryan was fine.
last year, right?
And he knows how to he knows the
Knows
system.
right?
The real question I have to ask is if Belichick and what's his name, Makovich were so close, how did he not have an inkling that Makovich was like, this could be my last year, I might walk.
Maybe that's what the Coney Ely thing was.
But all you did was trade, a 4th round pick?
Yeah, something.
You
Yeah,
didn't,
mid-round
okay,
pick.
if you were going to go out and spend that much money on Gilmore, and we praise them for that,
Right.
why didn't you try to make a move? And I understand, like, Wise is actually playing really well. Like, and you're getting pressure from Hightower when he plays.
Yeah.
So
Well, you have to remember
Yeah, Dietrich Wise is playing well. That's a good.
Dietrich Wise
astute observation.
is playing well.
Yeah.
Trey Flowers looks just as dominant as he was the year before.
Right.
And you lost who they thought was going to be a key component in Derek Rivers, the rookie.
Right.
So
True, too,
no, I understand that, but he's a rookie. For you to expect anything, and this is
so is Dietrich Wise.
No, I understand. No, I'm not downplaying that at all. I'm just saying how Belichick usually works.
Right.
He doesn't rely on rookies to make plays.
The future
He
plan
relies on his veterans to make it. He didn't go out. He traded for one, you're right, but he didn't go out and get a guy that, like, he came off of a horrible season in Carolina. Right. He likes to grab from the scrap heap. Why don't you grab a guy that's still on the freaking market, like a Mario Williams right now?
Right, Dwight Freeney or
Dwight
whatever,
Freeney, any of those guys.
Do you want to know what I think fixes your pass rush problem?
Better coverage.
Well, yeah,
Stephon Gilmore
part
know
of
what
that
he's
does
doing.
too. But
Yeah.
I think in the offseason,
defensive tackle?
I don't want them to go get a defensive end. I want them to go get a linebacker, and then I want them to play Dante Hightower at outside linebacker in a 3-4 and have him rush the passer all the time.
You know what?
Because he is the best pass rusher on the team. He is.
But
when he rushes, he gets to the quarterback.
Yeah, but I think it's a
And I
high
don't-
success rate because of the position it comes from. I
So
don't
you're-
think
He's really good on the delayed blitz. But I've watched him now run right off the line, and
Right. Oh, yeah,
he
yeah.
still will
He's a good
pump.
football
He'll
player.
pump those
Yeah, right.
tackles. He
Right.
does it all the time.
to play like, you know, kind of how you just said, like, oh, they went out and got Ely. That was their game plan. That's why they went out and got Harris, and he hasn't done anything.
No, yeah, he's been
and I'm
awful.
not saying that like you expected him to.
Even Van Noy has not matched what I thought he was.
He
gonna
played.
he plays in spurts.
He made plays against Carolina.
Yeah.
But he's one of those. He's a tackler. He's a Teddy Johnson on the field with Teddy Bruschi,
Yeah, they had
middle
one
linebacker.
play where they had him covering Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, not a great
And I was
matchup.
like, please don't do that ever again.
Right, not a great
And
matchup.
then Landon Roberts gets hurt,
Right.
so I don't know how serious that injury is, but
what's
that's really bad.
Yep.
What are the odds that the Madden curse has just trickled onto the New England Patriots and Tom Brady's going to stay healthy? Like, he
That's
breaks
like-
the Madden curse, but it's like an inverse order.
That
No,
would be
I mean-
really shitty.
It's pretty.
Weren't we,
not,
like-
not awful?
The way we looked at
Yes or
it,
no?
wasn't it? Edelman took it for him.
Edelman
Shouldn't it
took
end?
for-
Shouldn't it end?
I don't know. I think the Patriots might just
Imagine
be
this offensive Edelman was not.
Oh, in there? Oh my god.
They'd be literally unstoppable.
They'd be so
like they
good.
would have won
Well, I
all
think-
these games.
well, I was gonna say,
they
I'll-
would have put up
They
about
would put up-
75 points.
Well, you also would have had your defense not on the field as much.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like they would have been able to dink and dunk and take more time off the clock.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
better at third down
Oh,
conversions.
my God.
Be better
I don't
at fucking
think-
fourth down conversions.
I don't think their punter would have punted yet. Like I don't think
That
he
might
would.
be true.
He would
I
have
mean-
had a single punt if Edelman is playing.
I mean, you don't want him to punt. He's god
he is
awful.
Can we
fucking
talk about the
awful.
offense for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I am 100% with Aaron on the Josh McDaniels train. He is a fucking retard.
See, I thought he was good this game.
I think he was awful.
See, I thought
He-
I think that offense played well.
The offense did play well
and they
until the third quarter when he's trying to make Mike or Gillislee fucking relevant. Stop.
Yeah,
You
don't.
have the best
I got it.
the best weapon on your team is your 40-year-old quarterback.
Right.
To stop using him. You know what? If they line up in the fucking I form one more time,
Yeah. You got to be able to run the ball though.
yeah, you can out of a shotgun. And
Yeah.
I don't. This is the problem with the Pats, and they do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is they televise when they're going to run.
Right.
We're going to line up in a giant
Telegraph.
in a giant formation
Yep.
with our big blockers, and we're going to jam it down your throat with Gillislee. Why is he not out there on a shotgun? Does he have two just paws for hands? Can he not catch the ball?
You know what you could do to
Throw him the ball.
But to your point, line up like how you know how they do the like 4 wide receivers, but Gronk's like your 4th wide receiver.
Yeah.
A crackback play.
Yeah.
You shotgun Gillislee on the outs
I
off
honestly
the
think
edge,
that, dude.
and him just come down and just kill
I
whoever's on
honestly
the
think they
defense
should
end.
be in the shotgun literally 99%
All
of the time.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, but you got to
And
be
I
able
don't,
to. You
and I
got to be able
don't
to
think
power
you have
run.
to be able to run.
You do have
I
to be
don't.
able to run.
They used
Especially
to beat,
in the playoffs,
They
you
used to
have to be
beat
able to
those
run.
the Lions and those teams with really good defensive lines by throwing the ball 50 times a game and not running the ball.
Yeah, in the regular season. I mean, like in the postseason, you have to be able to
Yeah,
run
and
the
you
ball.
have the ability to, but I don't think you need to dilly
I
dally
don't
in
think they
these.
do have the
Well,
ability.
here's the
They're
thing.
not good at
I don't think they have the ability to run very well with Gillislee in there.
Oh,
I don't
Gillislee's
think-
averaging
No, but-
5 yards a carry. He's playing good.
But
when
they
you're-
can't get the 1 yard that they need.
I was gonna say when you're watching it, it's they run the
Do you
ball
wanna
at
know why?
inopportune times.
Do you want to know why they can't get the 1 yard they need? Because they telegraph exactly
everyone-
what they want to do.
But everyone in football does that.
No, my dad calls for it every time they line up on that 4th and 1
Yeah.
or third and short.
Yeah.
If you bootleg Brady just
Right. Oh,
one
I know,
time,
yeah, I
he
agree.
would get 10 yards.
I agree.
No one would cover him.
But a heavy run package is telegraphed by every team in the NFL. They all do it.
I just
Like
don't.
a goal line package is a goal line package, and it's
I
international.
would like to make the defense think, and you have the players where if you lined up in a shotgun on a 3rd and 1, Gillislee can get a 1 yard from the shotgun.
Probably true.
Couldn't you do like you're saying? You're telegraphing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're saying, you're
Dude,
telegraphing it. Can't you just like fake like because he was getting heavily involved in it? Fake a handoff to Devlin,
Right.
and just
Yeah, what
toss it off to the other side to your running
the
back.
Madden play.
Joe's fantasy field goal extra point. If you're in a real deep fullback league, James Devlin had a week.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had like
I
3
don't think There's
catches.
such a thing with a real deep fullback league.
Yeah, he had
a-
like 3 catches.
If you're in a 2 fullback
If you're
league,
if you're in like a fantasy league that requires that you play a fullback,
yeah. Imagine if you're in a
James
2 fullback
Devlin.
league, James Devlin's your guy.
high pick.
Number 1 pick, James Devlin.
That's who that would be your number one.
I just I
Tom
don't
Brady calls him best fullback in football.
I just don't I don't like the whole
I know what you're
way
saying.
it's run.
I agree with the presentation is very obvious.
This is
But
this
I
is what
think
they do.
every team, if you
It's-
watch a lot of football, you know a lot of teams do it. They stack up and they're they're going to run the ball.
This
It's
is my
3rd and 1.
problem. Does Gillislee have a reception yet?
No, I don't think so.
1st and 2nd down. Mike Gillislee is on the field.
Right.
We're going to run the ball.
Right.
Maybe we'll pass the ball, but it's definitely not getting
gonna be to
passed to
him.
Mike Gillislee.
Right.
Or 2nd down, James White comes on the field. Now you know we're passing.
Right.
Is it just me, or they haven't been doing what they used to do? Like this is the calling card of his offensive style is a screen.
They ran a lot.
They ran a lot of screens this week.
They
and that's
didn't
why,
run.
that's why
They
it's
didn't
like
run a
with-
lot versus
last week
Last week.
when they got crushed by Houston on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they never ran a screen last week.
James White had 10 catches this week.
This week,
But I was gonna say
But a lot of
Gillislee-
those came at the end of the game too.
He did,
but
yeah.
You have to throw the ball to Gillislee to keep these teams honest because
Yes, okay,
they
I
know
agree.
That's-
every
that's
time
what he's
Gillislee-
trying to say is-
every
I
time
agree with
Gillislee
that.
comes on the field, it's a handoff.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Blunt
LeGarrette
last
Blount,
year.
right, yeah.
They never threw the ball.
But even he had some catches.
yeah, but they
Right.
have yet to throw the ball to
Gillislee.
Gillislee.
Yeah. Dwayne Allen had a catch, and then It was a penalty, right?
Yeah.
Called back.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
And then
Still doesn't have a
Dwayne Allen, wide fucking open.
Yeah, what's that about?
That was just a bad pass by Brady.
There was him, and then there was another pass to Cooks. Looked like it was between.
Oh, that skipped.
That was the one where
that the one in the first
he made
quarter?
the move. He made the move, beat the guy, and he was gonna.
I think that was in the first quarter.
if he had hit him either in stride
Oh,
or
He's
he
behind the whole defense.
Right.
and he either was supposed to come back
to post and
or he was supposed to bow back out,
Right.
And he bowed in,
Right.
But the offense looks like it's picking up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's off like the first game we were like, oh, we don't really know about this offense. Then they looked a lot better in versus the Saints, and they looked better against the Texans. And I just don't like in the
offense
third,
looks fine to me.
in the third quarter they do this thing where they like slow down.
Yeah, they
and
die,
It's
yeah.
like they want to take their foot off the gas. Don't take your foot off the gas.
Like
Don't try and run
But
the clock
also-
out. Throw the goddamn. You have
Yeah.
the best quarterback in the NFL, and sometimes I think Josh McDaniels is like, gotta have a balanced attack. No, you don't. You don't. Drew Brees never has a balanced attack, and they're consistently one of the best offenses in the NFL.
Right.
Just throw the goddamn ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And stop lining James White up at running back. Just convert him to a receiver at this point.
Receiver, yeah. I don't mind him though. Because they run little draws with him and stuff.
You know who's the best? You know who's your best bet at replacing fucking Julian Edelman? James White.
James White would be.
Make him a slot receiver for this season until
seemed-
Edelman's back,
It
and then
seemed
put him
like
back at running
it
back.
seemed like they were trying to get Lewis involved this week.
He had
Yeah.
that one touchdown run.
Yeah.
Like they just seemed
Which
like
was
they were like,
also-
oh, let's get him involved. Now,
If you want to talk fantasy extra point, go ahead and fuck me when I have Mike Gillisley and let Deion Lewis run the ball.
yeah, no, me too.
Jesus Christ.
But I feel like he could be that guy, like that weird, stupid trade at the deadline that like we're like,
Deion Lewis.
yeah, Deion Lewis. I feel like
think-
that's a possibility. That's why they're kind of using
To
him.
me, if they trade Malcolm Butler now, stick a knife in him.
No,
They
that's what I'm
cannot
saying.
do it
I don't think
now.
you can. I don't think you can.
Now, no.
Honest to goodness, he's your best corner still.
I can't remember if it was Scott Zolak or Christian Fourier, but one of the two was saying that Deion Lewis is their best running back, like skill set wise.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He can catch as well as anyone. He's faster than everybody.
And I
He's
feel
more
like they
elusive
use
than
him
anybody.
the least.
And they use him the least because he's all 2 years ago. He was disgusting.
Yeah.
Remember, you know what I mean? Like the year they won Jesus. Twice I've hit my own mic. 2 years ago, they ran the life out of him, and he was filthy. And then
Yeah.
last year, he was the first guy to get a punt return, kick return, and reception for a touchdown, or a rush for a touchdown, or a rush, reception, and return, something like
Yeah.
that. He had 3 touchdowns.
I think
of
that's
some
what it
sort.
was: a
Yeah,
rush, reception, and return.
and a return. Yeah, and he is dynamic when he's healthy.
Yeah.
I like that they got him a little more involved this week. I think him and James White get in each other's way in a way, like because they're two very similar. But I like having both of. I want Brady, White, Lewis,
You know what would make them
That's
not
what
get
I
in each
want.
other's way? If James White was a wide receiver.
wide receiver. That's true. I like the split back White
I do
Lewis right
too.
next to him.
I do too. I
Because
think
that's all.
I honestly don't think James White should leave the field. I don't.
I think he's their most
I don't care if Gillis
reliable, most reliable.
I was going to
back
say,
out
I
of
feel
all
like he's your. When you look at the New England offense, he's your best running back
right.
because they run. They will run with him in the shotgun. They do run with the ball with him,
Yeah.
and they will throw him the ball.
He
obviously,
gets the most snaps.
Yeah,
Right.
he
I
just
just
seems
don't.
like
I don't think he should come off the field. I don't.
Right.
He should. Put Gillisley out there. Leave James White on the field.
Right.
Move him somewhere else, or
Right.
constantly line up in two backs.
It's true. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
or just move Gillisley to like fullback,
Right.
and then just do like a pass.
Well, they say that James Devlin's the best fullback in football.
I know. You don't want to take him off the field.
What do you
Yeah.
guys think about the Bucs game coming up?
Play
Another semi-mobile.
Play Jameis Winston.
Yeah, for sure. Another semi-mobile quarterback.
I said it on the fantasy field goal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done fucking telling people not to play quarterbacks until I see something from the Patriots defense.
Right.
Play everyone
Stream
you
that
have
person always. Yeah.
against the Pats D until you see something different.
Right.
Because I keep trying to predict a bounce back and it's just not happening. So
Is the gerbil coming back this game?
He is.
The muscle,
Yeah,
He's
his
off-
muscle
off-
hamster.
back,
off
yeah.
the suspension. Yeah. Muscle hamster.
and like the Pats fan in me is like, oh, it's a bad play, Pats defense, but it's a great play because
Is- yeah.
Pats defense.
Right.
Well, here's the thing: is if they do decide to, because he's back, we're going to run the ball. That's playing right into the Patriots
right.
because that's all their defensive
I don't think they
tackles.
have- like,
their
this-
defensive tackles, that's all they know how to do.
This is
They
actually
have a balanced attack.
This is actually the perfect game to start doing the Stephon Gilmore thing. Stephon Gilmore, Mike Evans is your guy.
Right, all day.
I don't care where he goes on the field. You're going to follow him around. No more left side, right
They
side.
used to do that with
Fucking
Talib.
Revis.
No, with
And
Talib
Talib.
too.
Yeah,
Talib was
yeah.
big on that. They found the best player,
Right.
and they put him on him.
Remember, they put him on Julio Jones and then Jimmy Graham back.
Yes, I was going to say Jimmy
Yeah.
Graham. I remember they put him on tight ends one
They
week.
used, they used to do it. So I don't know why they're trying to do this weird other thing.
Well, the Patriots typically are a side schemed. Like this is your side. Ty Law used to. Like he would just take away one half of the field, and then
Yeah, but that's the-
Revis could do.
Yeah, but
he would do the man-to-man
is
thing
that-
too. But also sometimes when they do a lot of zone, they take that one side.
Is that what they're doing, or are they changing who he's supposed to take based on the formation and not as opposed to a side? Because if he's doing a side thing, he wouldn't follow Christian McCaffrey across the
Well, I was
Right,
going to say,
right.
I feel like
true.
that's the problem. I think it's
I think they're switching who he's supposed to cover.
they're
Based on
communicating
formation.
during the
Right,
pre-snap,
right.
and then all of a sudden they make a move, and now it's
Whereas it
what
should
do I
just
do?
be the moment that guy goes out of the huddle, wherever he lines up on the field, follow him around.
Yeah, that's your guy. Yeah, that's. I mean, before typically the Patriots do. Okay, Malcolm Butler, you have the right side of the field, the defensive left side, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's whoever falls into that side is the guy you're covering. Or they'll do that's your guy. I don't care what side of the field he's on. You know,
you
take
could
him.
do that.
I think they,
but they should say to Gilmore,
Yeah.
hey, this happens. Like if we're just playing with like the Bucks, hypothetically,
Right.
They put one play on his side. They put Evans. Okay, on your side, Evans is lined up in front of you.
Right.
Wherever he goes, even if he goes across the field, he's your guy.
Right.
You can do that.
Right.
And then if, say, hypothetically, they move, Jaquiz Rogers out onto his side, that's your guy. You cover him.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're told otherwise to go to Evans or whomever. You pick the receiver on your side that's post the most threat. You have that conversation with the safety. Hey, can you pick up this guy? Yeah. Okay, I got this guy.
Right.
And just fucking do it.
Be
yeah,
interesting
and
to see.
then like you could do that and still run zone. Where
Yes.
it's just like
Right.
whatever
least with your
side
safeties.
whatever side Mike Evans is on is the side of the zone that you're going to play.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like in a cover 3, you're just going to play right corner because Mike Evans is right corner over there, and you're still going to run the same zone scheme.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just over there.
You can do like a man-to-man with the corners, cover 2.
Right.
I think
It
Yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah. I
It
do that in
works.
Madden all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it works. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
the coverage
I hate to
advantage.
say
Yeah,
that,
right,
but
right,
like
yeah.
that's what it is.
But the thing is, I think why they're doing that is because they can be more versatile in how they what the defense is. When it's like you're going to take this guy in this formation, and then these two guys are going to play zone, and then
So the opposing team isn't like, oh hey, by the way, he's on you all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's you never know.
I feel like that's what it is. Belichick hates telegraphing the game
right,
plan.
right, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Just
He doesn't
guys-
give a fuck
But,
on offense.
yeah, but I was going to say, but that's the other problem with the offense is like you've brought it up is that it seems like at the end of the game he just goes out there and Brady just cuts him up.
Why do they not do that all
Now,
game?
I understand you make a game plan for, hey, we need the points.
Right.
Go out. These are our best plays. Go out. Why don't you throw one or two of those in your
Right.
game plan during the middle of the game and
Right.
go, hey, we know
Why
that they
why do
fall
you
for
have to
this every
call a
time?
play? Why do you have to call a play every time? Why can't you just go, Brady, go out there, and whatever you see, you design it on
Didn't
the
we
go.
say that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said that. I was like, why isn't he calling the plays when he walks out of the huddle?
Because he says
He's-
he knows what people
Right.
are doing. So
he
it's
audibles a lot, but
like,
yeah,
we're
he
gonna do
doesn't
this,
call
this,
plays
this,
typically.
this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They said that I may have brought this up before, but during the Super Bowl, they were running no huddle so much because the time was against them, but also that they were making sure to get to the line of scrimmage real fast.
Yeah.
because the communication with the sideline goes to
So they
15
could talk
seconds.
more, yeah.
So they could be at the line of scrimmage and he could talk to Josh and back and forth, and Josh could say to him, "Hey, you got 2 deep safeties here," whatever. He'd be like, "All right," so he could be standing at the line getting intel from
Until
the
down to
sideline
15
until down to
seconds.
15 seconds, and then it's like, okay, hike, which was a really creative idea, to be able to be at the line, having them talk to you as opposed to, hey, if you see this, if you see that,
Yeah.
do that, So I think the thing with Brady, I think he could run an offense on his own. I think there were years where he did. I think
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien wasn't calling every play for Tom Brady back
Yeah.
then. And I think that's why Bill and him got in the argument on the sideline. I think that with Josh, they trust each other a lot. So I think that's sort of like, hey, we're on the same page. They talk about series of plays. Like, and if you've seen any behind the scenes, saying, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to run this, then we're going to do that, then we're going to do this. And if we get a first down here, I want you to run these 3. So they have like chambers of plays where it's like, run these 3 or 4 plays in a row. Any succession works, but I want to run these 3 or 4 on this series. Excuse me. And then move forward from there. And then they'll come back, talk to me, or I'll feed you later.
I feel like watching it doesn't seem a lot of like, hey, like we're going to set these guys up. The first 2 plays, these plays are to set up third down.
Right.
It seems like, hey, these are the 3 plays we're running.
Right.
And we're going for it. And I feel like if you run those first 2 plays, you should Brady should be able to walk up there, like you're saying, and if he says, hey, this is what you're looking at.
Right.
Because why don't you do that in the regular season? They used to do. Didn't Manning used to kind of do that?
Right.
He audibled a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah,
granted,
Brady does. He calls out a lot of
Brady
changes.
does.
he does, but I think it's one of those things where it's like Brady, if he's as smart as everybody says he is.
Don't you start.
No, I'm not shitting on him. I'm not shitting on him. I'm saying, like, if that's the way everybody talks about him,
Yeah.
couldn't he just walk up there and go, hey,
Right.
whatever, Oklahoma,
Right.
we're changing this.
Right. Well,
Omaha.
He calls the Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan.
Does he?
Rex Ryan.
You ever hear that when they used to play,
No.
when they played the Bills the last year? Rex Ryan was coach. They ran a play, and it was a run to the right. It was what it meant. RR, run to the right. And whenever they'd audible, they'd yell. They normally do that. If you listen to a lot of their audibles, they're very telling as to what they're going to do. But they would yell, Rex Ryan, or whatever, and then to be run to the right. And then Rex Ryan was asked, what do you think of Tom Brady? Okay, beat me with my own name.
If you watch, watching that game, I don't think there's anyone in the NFL who calls out blitzes better
more than
Tom
Tom
Brady.
53's a mic.
Every time. There was one where he's, because you can hear him when he's calling the thing, where he says, watch 54.
Right.
And they snap the ball, 54 is blitzing, and no one picks him up.
Right.
Because I think it was like a watch 54, but it's going to be like a fake block and leak because he just dumped it over his head to James White or Deion Lewis, whoever the running back was.
Yeah.
But he says it, like watch 54. So he knows 54 is blitzing. And I read an article on the Players Tribune. It was some defensive player saying who quarterbacks that you hated the most.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady was on it. And he was like, you literally cannot fool him. And there's nothing worse than when he's like, 54 is the mic, or 50, because he knows what you're going to do now.
Right, yeah. And Steve Smith talked about that against the Patriots, like whether it be Dante Hightower or Gerard Mayer. He says their middle linebacker always used to yell at me, like, hey, Z's going to curl, or whatever. And he's like, because my quarterback would tell me, Flacco would look at me like, hey, whatever. He'd shout some code. He's like, and then I'd have whoever the captain was for the Patriots defense would turn like, hey, Z's going to curl. And he's like, I'm the Z. Like, oh my God, they know what I'm doing, or whatever. And he's like, you better not throw me this fucking ball, Joe, or whatever he's saying. He's like, there I go, I curl, and they beat me, they jumped the route, whatever. He's like, I hated playing the Patriots, they always did that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's probably Spygate or whatever, you know. What I mean? But,
yeah. No, I'm not overly worried about this game, but there is fucking cause for concern.
Trouble's brewing.
Cause for concern.
If they go 2-3, I don't love that. They will win the division at 7-9 or whatever. Yeah. Like I totally.
I just keep thinking that eventually you're going to see the game where they just
figure it out.
Defense.
They're going to win a game like 38-3, and then just like there it is.
There's a reason Belichick's like the greatest coach of all time. He will figure it out.
Right.
I'm surprised it's taken him 4 games.
Right. They're typically better around the bye. Like around the bye hits.
I think part of it is him trying to trust in Stephon Gilmore and Stephon Gilmore just not picking it up.
Right.
And that might be a reason why teams are shredding them is because Duron Harmon said, we literally cannot make it any easier if you're running such a vanilla defense.
Right.
And
everything looked easy for Cam Newton.
You can't.
I was like, this looks so easy.
Cam Newton. It's not like he was throwing the ball into tight windows.
No, that's what everything looked easy.
It was like a college offense.
Right.
When you watch college games, they just throw to wide.
I thought there was
receivers.
one pass that he made in the end zone to the tight end
or somebody
in the end zone, and it was like,
I think there was Devin Funchess.
And I was watching it, and I'm like, that's the only touch throw, he's going to throw the whole game, but that was a good throw.
That's the other thing, is the Pats, specifically on that matchup, the Pats' corners do not match up well with the wide receivers on the Panthers.
Right.
Because
They're tall as fuck.
Malcolm Butler is really small, and Stephon Gilmore is bigger, but he's not as big as Kelvin Benjamin.
Or what's his name?
And Devin Funchess. Kelvin Benjamin literally could play tight end if he could block in the NFL.
They got Benjamin and Funchess.
And then, isn't there another one? Isn't there like or am I just...
There's like
I don't know who their third receiver is.
It used to be Ted Ginn, but he's in New Orleans.
No, I was just going to say, like, don't they have like the tallest receiving core in the
they're
NFL?
Kelvin Benjamin is literally like
I think
the size of Cam Newton.
I think Atlanta's technically the biggest, but that is a big core.
Big.
That's a big core.
Kelvin Benjamin could play tight end. Like he has the size to play tight end. He just can't block. And Devin Funchess played tight end in college and converted to wide receiver because he was small.
He's lean, yeah.
So like he can body Malcolm Butler,
right? Even
if Malcolm Butler plays perfect coverage,
right? All right, let's see. Let's get some scores and some predictions in, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Me, all you got to do is make a decision. That's it.
Take a look inside my crystal ball.
All right. So last week, take a little victory lap here. I called my shot, pointed to the fence, hit a home run. Dave Dawson wins. It is now 2-1.
Okay, so I have to stop, letting you guys win.
Yeah, I would recommend doing that now before I get some momentum.
Oh yeah, I'll just take the blindfold off now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
For a pick'em, it doesn't matter.
Pretty much.
We read it out loud. You don't need to see it. But
I used to say that when I played Xbox Online.
Yeah, I'll take my blindfold off.
Or I'll turn my TV on now. Maybe you lost around. Guys talking shit in the lobby.
Yeah.
Look at that! I didn't have my TV on. Sorry about that,
turn
guys.
My controller on now. All right, so let's get into this week.
So the Thursday night game.
Yep.
When we're watching closely.
Yeah.
The Pats at the Bucks.
I'm going to go Patriots.
Score?
I'm going to go 34-28.
I'm going Pats. I'm going to go 38.
This is
31. 38-31.
I'm going 35-10 Pats.
Big, all right. Big
10 points.
This is the big defensive game.
This is the big defensive game.
One. Okay.
Listen,
right.
I tried to do that with Carolina last week.
Yep. Don't love it. But you might be right. Who knows? They are going to turn it on one day.
Listen, if this is the... I'm going to do this right now. I will gladly lose the Patriots pick on the score every fucking week if I predict that the other team is going to score a shitload of points and they give up 10. And I will next week I'll do the same thing.
Yep.
And as long as they keep giving up,
10
only
or less,
10, I will I don't care if the Patriots become the number one defense in the league. I will always predict that they're going to give up 47 points.
I like it.
And win.
Bills at the Bengals.
Bills at the Bengals. Here's the thing.
Oh, that was another thing we didn't say while we were talking about the Patriots.
We've been circling the wagons.
Fucking Buffalo Bills are number one in the East.
Yeah, bad.
Listen, here's the thing about the Bills. I'm so sick of hearing about the Bills' defense. They have yet to play a legitimate offense. I'm going to go Bengals.
Say Bills keep it interesting for one more week.
Bills?
Yeah.
Just so I can get it, official. I'm going to go Bengals.
And before anyone says they played Atlanta without Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu, so they didn't play Atlanta.
Sanu's also out for 2 to 6 weeks.
Really?
Something like that, with like an ankle injury or something.
Also, R.I.P. Dalvin Cook.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's sad.
So bad.
Yeah, I had him on one of my teams.
I had him in about 12.
That Kareem Hunt pick is just looking fucking good.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's been fucking phenomenal. I have him in a bunch, too.
Mm-hmm.
Jets at the Browns. I'm going Browns.
In the worst game of football played this weekend. What are you doing, Joe?
I'm going Jets.
Wow.
Easy Jets. Like it's not even a close game.
You gonna finally jump off the bandwagon, Dave?
They don't look good.
They let you down every
They don't
week.
look good at all.
I'm going Browns. I think they're gonna win at home against the Jets.
If they can't beat fucking Indy, they don't stand a shot against the Jets. By the way,
The Jets
I'm
have been
playing.
playing
I'm
better.
playing Jacoby Brissett in multiple leagues as my starting quarterback in
Nice.
fantasy.
Do that forever. Browns. I go Browns.
Can we sidebar here?
Yeah.
Why are the Jets playing Josh McCown?
I don't know.
You're not helping yourself.
No.
Sit him.
Yeah.
He will win games.
He's gonna win you a couple.
Bryce Petty should be your starting quarterback because you want to lose. I don't know if the Jets know this.
Right.
Someone needs to send them a memo.
Right.
You want to
Go get
lose.
the worst pick or the best
Your
pick.
team will not get any better.
Right.
Because Josh McCown is like a 38-year-old, consistently second-string quarterback
That is true.
who will still win you games. Bryce Petty won't.
Nope.
And you want the best quarterback.
You get the number one pick.
Yeah.
Bryce Petty. That's it. I'm with you there.
Panthers at the Lions.
Panthers are frauds. Lions all the way.
I'm going Lions.
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
going Lions as well.
By the way, it's a little tidbit. Lions, #1 fantasy defense in the NFL.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I heard
Just
that
pick
on the
them up.
podcast.
Just pick them up.
Available in
Just pick them up.
only taken in 34% of ESPN leagues.
I just picked them up. I have the Patriots defense and
You dropped them?
the Patriots defense.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh, you should.
Well, I think they're going to turn it on.
well, yeah, but
This week.
I think you'll be safe.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Patriots defense for the next 2 weeks. You got Bucks, Jets. I'm playing those two, and if it's not figured out by then it's Lions here on out.
Yeah.
Because I have the Lions in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm good.
Niners at the Colts.
Oh my god. What a bad fucking week of football. Jeez.
And it's the first bye week, so
You
it's like
say-
Atlanta's not
This
playing.
is how I know I'm too much of a football fan,
Yeah.
or too much of a fantasy
Fantasy
football
football
fan.
fan? Yeah.
I'm really excited for Niners Colts.
Jesus Christ.
That is just going to be an offensive explosion on both sides.
I'm going to go Colts.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go Colts.
I'm
Boy,
right.
Jaco boy.
He's looked good.
Right.
And he even held them close to the Seahawks
For a long time.
for a half,
yeah,
at least a
and
half.
then
They were winning at
It
halftime.
got way away from them, but
Right. It
up
was like
until then,
18-15, halfway through the third.
he had those Colts. He had those Colts in the game. So I'm Brissett balls the fuck out.
Yeah.
So Colts.
I'm going
Colts.
Going my Jaco
Also,
boy.
but don't be afraid to play Brian Hoyer and all of your.
Right.
I'm
No.
playing Pierre Garcon a lot.
Nice. There you go.
Titans versus the Dolphins.
Mariota's hurt.
Yeah, no Mariota, but
But it is Jay Cutler.
and who's the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans? Without Mariota,
Matt Castle?
Matt Castle,
Okay,
ex-Patriot
let's go.
himself.
I'll go Matt Castle and the Titans win this game.
Yeah, fuck Jay Cutler. I'm never
Yeah.
picking him for anything else ever again. I streamed him twice,
Yeah.
and he fucking shit the bed. So I hope Jay Cutler dies in a cigarette fire.
I'm going Titans.
I'm going Titans.
I think, all right, so we just agree this week. That's it.
Chargers
Cigarette
at the Giants.
Chargers- the
I'm
Giants
going
gotta
Giants.
win a game.
They
Giants
gotta.
gotta
They
win a fucking
that's
game.
another thing. Winless.
Win like crazy.
Chargers are also winless.
Are they?
Yeah,
sure.
Someone
This
is
is
coming out of this
a
game.
Horrible week of football.
Someone is coming out of this game
Yeah.
with a
W.
no longer winless.
With a W.
This will be the game the Giants finally win.
Yeah, I'm going Giants.
We disagreed on like only one.
Yeah, I
The
think so.
fucking Browns game.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
it.
I'll gladly
I
take
think
the,
you- yeah,
I'll
you
gladly
might
take
pick one
the
up.
easy Browns game.
You might pick one up there.
Cards at the Eagles.
I'm riding the Eagles train, baby.
Yeah, same here.
Stay in the Flames.
I have the Bills over the Bengals and
Oh,
the Brown,
yeah.
and that's the only difference. Yeah,
And I have the Jets over the Browns.
I have the Jets over the Browns. Yeah. What was the matchup? I'm sorry, I was looking.
Cardinals versus the Eagles.
I'm going Eagles all day. Carson wins. That should be his new name.
Jags versus the Steelers.
That's
It's in Pittsburgh.
What happened?
I'll
Did the
take
Jags lose last week?
The Jags.
They
that's a good
they
question.
smoked the Ravens,
Yeah.
and then they
question.
played
Let's go back.
the
Let's take a
Jets.
look-
They
take a
lost
look
to
at
the
the
Jets
record.
last week.
Yeah.
They lost. to
We
the
all
Jets.
picked the Jags, and they've lost
Right.
to the Jets.
They lost to the Jets, but that's the hangover from the London game.
Yeah.
Jags. Who are they playing?
Steelers.
In Pittsburgh.
You didn't write the scores down for last week's games, did you? I wonder what was the score of the Jets.
Oh,
Jags
for
game?
those.
Yeah. I think it was a low-scoring affair. Like, the Jags defense still looked good.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I'm gonna go Jags. Is it in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
In Pittsburgh. That's a tough
That's
one.
the only thing that.
The Jags are actually number 1 in the South, aren't they? Or no,
I think so.
yeah, the South. Or the North, whatever. Or no, they're in the South.
They're in the South.
But
is
they're
it
number 1 in the
Texans?
South. No, I think it's them.
They lost to the Texans, though. They got
20-23.
Oh no, the
was
Titans lost to the Texans.
Yeah.
Jaguars Jets was 20-23 in overtime.
Yeah. I'm going Jags. I believe in that team. And
I do kind of like the
the
Jags.
Steelers
too.
lost to the fucking Bears.
Jacksonville has the tiebreaker over Houston.
Oh, okay.
They're both 2-2. I'm going to go Jags also.
All right, I'm going Steelers.
I don't know why I'm betting against the Steelers here, but I like the Jags a lot. So
Because the Steelers have just
we're pretty lackluster.
they've just not looked like
Yeah.
this is very obviously Big Ben's last year. Like they are gonna suck dick after this.
Yeah, they're going to be real bad.
Well, never mind. Seahawks at the Rams.
Oh, you mean the best offense in football? The Seahawks
Yeah.
playing the best offense in
Yeah.
football?
Yeah. I'm going to
Seahawks
go.
at the Rams?
I'm going to go Rams.
Yeah, I'm going LA.
I'm going Rams.
Fuckers. Yeah, I went the Rams
Yeah.
too.
The Seahawks don't look great. I mean, I know they pulled away last week, but
Listen, the biggest problem with the Seahawks is the offensive line. One
Yeah.
of the strengths of LA is that fucking defensive line is
right.
monstrous.
Aaron McDonald's a freak.
Yeah, so I'm expecting Russell Wilson to run for his life all
Yeah,
game.
let's do it.
Ravens at the Raiders.
I'm going Ravens. The Raiders
No
don't have
Derek
Derek
Carr.
Carr.
Yeah.
That's
I'll go Ravens also.
listen, Raiders are in big trouble
Yeah.
until Derek Carr comes back.
Who's a good like? It's Chiefs, and that's it in the AFC. That looks.
The Broncos. I know they lost to the
Oh,
Bills,
the Broncos. No, the Broncos is a good one.
but
they're like, they're playing better.
Are
than I
the
thought
Bills
they would.
going to be the friggin' playoff? Like the
They might make
wild
a playoffs.
card?
They might make a wild
I'm
card.
expecting the Bills to come back down to earth. Like I think they're a little bit fraudulent
But
right
in the
now.
AFC, like who's
But
going to be
they
better
might-
than
I was going
8?
to say, the AFC is
The
just
Texans will probably make the playoffs again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have
Texans-
two South teams and maybe the Bills.
So
the
the Titans
Jag-
with all the hype they have. I don't.
So the
think
Jags and like Buffalo?
Chiefs and Broncos will be the two
Yeah, but I'm
guys
talking
in the
about-
West, and then
Texans, Jags, probably.
and then it'll probably be Texans
or-
and Jags, probably. Yeah,
I
Or
just think Buffalo comes back down to earth.
Yeah, maybe. There's probably two teams. Yeah, I don't know. They'll be good. Interesting.
I'm taking the Raiders just on a fucking whim.
Okay, yeah. Try to get a point. I
Let
dig
me
it.
try. Packers at the Cowboys in Jerryland.
Oh, this is a good one.
I'm waiting for Aaron Rodgers to calmly whisper some word, and then all of a sudden the Packers get better. Like he'll be like REA or whatever, however you spell relax. Not REA, REL.
It won't even be like a word like that. It'll be like armchair. Be like, all right, guys, you got to kick it on. now."
Right. Yep. You're gonna like apples.
This is the thing. I'm worried about the running game. for
Ty Montgomery
Green
out?
Bay. I don't know.
Had broken ribs last week.
Yeah, but
Thursday.
they said that he might not have broken ribs. Like MRIs showed
Yeah, not
So-
broken ribs. He's going to take shots so he doesn't feel them.
he's gonna have those. He's gonna have that flak jacket thing on too.
And some shots in those
Yeah,
ribs.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
The Cowboys' pass defense is wretched. I'm gonna go.
It's
Green
really
Bay.
bad. It's really bad.
I'm going Packers.
Is Des Bryant still alive? By the way.
He's on my fantasy team, riding that bench real hard.
Yeah, I have not heard his name once this season.
Oh, Des Bryant actually. If I was in your fantasy league and I saw him on the bench, I would make a trade for him because he gets targeted a lot.
Yeah,
He hasn't
like
done
playing
shit,
well?
though.
Is he
He
playing?
had a
well?
touchdown against.
Jeremy Maclin leads the NFL in targets, and he only brings in 45% of them.
I don't want to hear Jeremy Maclin's name ever again.
All right.
I
Just a fantasy factoid for you.
gladly sat Amir Abdullah and Alvin Kamara this week and played
For Jeremy Maclin.
Jeremy Maclin
Oh,
in
you
my flex
dummy dope. That sucks.
and
I don't blame you, but
watched Jeremy Maclin score 3.8 points while Alvin Kamara scored 20 and Amir Abdullah scored 20.
right.
So
Ding, ding, ding. We need a new
I
fantasy
don't
football guy.
want to hear anything. Well, the Ravens were. Who did the
No, I
Ravens
know.
play?
I know. Ravens had the Steelers, right?
Was it
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ravens Steelers.
No.
Yeah.
Was it Ravens Steelers? Who did they play?
Let's go back.
They
on the
did
record.
play the Steelers.
Yeah.
Stenographer, can you read that back, please?
Steelers.
Thank
The
you.
Steelers don't have a great defense.
No, they
I was
don't.
like,
They
oh,
don't.
Jeremy Maclin.
Right.
He'll get a
Came off
lot.
a-
Of,
came
he'll
off
get
a
a lot of
concussion.
targets.
Came off a concussion, right?
Chiefs at the Texans.
Chiefs.
Gotta go Chiefs, yeah. I don't know. Texans did just drop a 57 burger.
Yeah, but the Chiefs defense is looks really good
It
too.
is really good. If it was in Kansas City, I'd be like really sold.
You believe in Watson, huh?
I do like Deshaun Watson. I think he's a good young quarterback. I do.
This is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks now. He smoked the Patriots, which doesn't say much. But then he
dropped 57
Yeah.
points last week. I mean,
Well,
a couple
he dropped
defensive
51.
scores. Right, yeah.
But he dropped 51.
Well, yeah, right. He's still
It's
the 50
one
burger.
defensive
Yeah.
score.
Right. I'm going to go Texans. Texans with a big upset. Bring the Chiefs back down. We'll be one game behind for AFC.
Okay, the Monday night game. Vikings at the Bears.
I don't know. When's the last time that team won in Chicago?
I'm going with
first.
the Bears.
It's
You're gonna go Bears first. I'm gonna go.
it's in Minnesota.
It's at the
No,
Bears.
It's in Chicago.
I'm going Vikings because it is the debut of Mitchell Trubisky against a pretty good Vikings defense. A rookie debut.
Right. They do lose Dalvin Cook. Latavius Murray going to pick things up.
Case Keenum carries the squad. Stephon Diggs.
Right.
Big game.
What
Bears
about,
defense is not good, so
I'm going to go Vikings.
I'm going Vikings. I don't trust a rookie.
I don't trust the
rookie
Bears.
debut. Yeah.
I think the Bears they're just going to run the ball.
Yeah. Jordan Howard do his thing all day and be good. Yeah.
Just don't throw it to him.
I mean,
and you're
Amir
good.
Abdullah, I didn't play Amir Abdullah because he was playing the fucking Vikings and he scored 20 points, and Jeremy Maclin against a much favorable matchup scored 3. So
That is true. All right. We'll see what happens. Good luck. Let the best man win. And you might be tied next week, my friend.
Maybe.
I'm not calling my shot.
No, you are.
I don't love
you
this
already
week.
did.
No,
You already
this
did.
week. I don't love this week.
somehow we
Already
all end up
jinxed
the
yourself.
same, except I am right that the Browns suck, and then I win.
What
By
happens
one.
if we tie? We better address that.
No, the tiebreaker is the Patriots
score. That's right.
And it's like if it's within like say
Yeah,
like
whoever's off by
like
the
this week
least
we
amount of
have like
points.
38. You Joe has 38. You have 34. I have 35.
Right.
Like we're all within that, but like the defense or often their score.
Right.
They score 15.
Right.
I didn't go over.
Right. I say
It's within 5.
I say it's whoever's off by the fewest points.
Yeah, there you
know
go.
what I mean?
Total or whatever.
Yeah.
So like if it's 31-15 and I have 31-16, then I am only off by 1 point.
Yeah, there you
know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sound good?
Works for me.
Kill me.
So good.
Hey, kill me. Hey guys. Fucking kill me. Fucking kill me. Anyways, Boston Red Sox are heading into potentially 9 straight games with the Houston Astros. So I hope they got real familiar and learned a thing or two.
If
That's
they
insane.
if they play as bad as they did against them at the end of the season, like
Yep.
I know it's only a couple days away,
Yeah.
separating the two series, end of the regular season series into the playoff series. If your manager didn't learn how to make player moves during a game,
Right.
in-game decisions during that,
Right.
you're a dope, and then I blame why the season's a fucking flop. Because they limped into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They finished with 93. I was one off.
1 game off.
93. If they had lost that game, they would have
Here it comes.
they would have finished second. Or no, they would have had to play a playoff game. You can play that all you want. I was still one off
You were one off with the giant caveat that they finished in first place and not in second.
by
Yeah, you were
one
real close,
game.
though. You were
You
really
were the
close.
you were the closest.
No.
If you would have said they finished in first place.
Okay.
He was even though, I mean, I get what you're saying. If they
Second
lose
place
that
by
game,
one game.
they would have finished in second.
Well, hey,
They would have had a one-game
They
playoff.
wouldn't even have to play a play-in because the Yankees
Yeah.
had the tiebreaker.
I'm just
That would've been
saying.
it. That would've been
I'm
it.
just saying.
Right.
they didn't.
Yeah.
So
Okay. What was
Tough.
your score?
I said 90.
He had 98.
I was
and
off
I had
by
100.
5.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank
I
you
was-
very much.
Hey, I'm-
I rest my
I'm
case.
giving you credit. Out of 162 possible scenarios, that's fucking good. That's really good. But you had to ruin it.
I don't
by
care.
saying-
All you
I
had
was
to say-
one game off.
All you had to
I didn't
say.
ask
I
you
was-
where they're going to finish. You threw that in for no reason. If you
I-
go back and listen, how many
Yeah.
games do you think they're going to win? 98? I'm going to go 100. You go 92 and
Finishing second.
92 and 70, and they're going to finish in second. I'm like, ooh, wow, extra detail or whatever.
Hey.
Fucking blew it.
I don't care. Look at it.
No, you did a good call.
I missed it by one game. And the freaking first place. If they had lost that game,
right.
they second. They finish in second.
Right. You were right.
You can make fun of me all you want.
How about that?
I was close.
That's a huge difference between.
Take that for data.
Thank you.
So first they have to play because they finished in first.
Right.
They play
Houston,
and
then they got to play Cleveland.
If they would have finished in second,
they would have had to play Minnesota to get in.
It would have been the one-game playoff, like the Yankees have to do, and then they have to go play fucking Cleveland.
Right.
So that's like a fucking murderer's row.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't get any easier.
Yankees have to play the one-game playoff, hope they win, and then
they'll beat the Twins.
Congratulations,
yeah,
you get to play the hottest team in baseball.
Right. Yeah. Here's the Indians. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
It's insane.
I have two questions. One, who's going to be your Game 3 starter?
Yeah, they haven't decided. They decided who the second game is. It's going to be Drew Pomeranz.
Who's first game's obviously Sale.
Yep.
Sale, Pomeranz,
Fister.
And then you have either Fister, Porcello, or Price. If you want to screw up the Price thing,
Right.
bless you. If you want to screw up the Price thing that's working, you could start Price third.
Price is currently the fifth.
Price is currently in the bullpen.
Oh.
Which has been working really well. They're like Andrew Millering him right now.
Do you need a fifth starter?
No, you can do three.
Oh yeah,
you can do three in the first round. That's it.
Especially if you,
I would go Fister.
Go Fister.
He seems hot right now.
He does seem kind of hot right now. He did get tanked his last one, but that's just one start.
Yeah,
that's like saying
up
Chris
until
Taylor
that
got tanked.
start.
Right. He was playing well. I think Rick Porcello's pitched well. He's got 17 losses on the season, which seems weird. Also got very little run support. So,
I was going to say.
I don't know all of his splits. I'm not sure what his ERA is.
I don't think it matters. This isn't a World Series team. Like, I'm 100% convinced.
All right, so that takes me to my very next question. We haven't done one of these in a couple weeks.
No.
It's a Smitty song. I miss that song. I like that drop a lot, actually. So my next question is, what do you predict for the Red Sox in the first round? Do they lose in 3 or 4? Do they lose in 5? Do they win in 5? Or do they win in 3 or 4 games? What did you guys answer?
I said lose in 3 or 4.
Yeah, I totally spaced.
You put lose in 3 or 4.
There you go.
The answer on the way I asked.
I knew it was with MJ.
I wish I could have just had the option of lose. Like, they're not going to win.
Yeah.
They're not going to win the first round.
Right.
How many people actually thought they were going to win?
There's 6 people, and there was 10 people who think they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
that's your split there. I have them win in 5. So, there's that.
I mean, crazier things have
wrong.
happened,
Right.
but
Even
it
if
just
they,
doesn't look good.
Even if they don't win, or even if they do win this round, I just don't think they are a.
They're not going to be Cleveland.
They're not a World Series team. Like when you look at this team,
no. But neither was the 2013 team.
No, but regardless of who they're playing, just look at the actual Red Sox team by themselves. Look at the team.
Right.
When you see them, when you look at their roster,
right.
When you look at their pitching staff and how they've played,
I think
do you feel like a World Series team?
I think they're better than they were in 2013.
Yeah, but
the 2013 team was like.
Was their offense? Is their offense better than it was in 2013?
No, not. And there's not more.
There's a huge thing. You don't have David
Ortiz.
In the playoffs, who pretty much carried that.
Yeah,
team.
he batted like 680 that whole postseason. It was crazy.
And you are once again like to the whole thing about their offense. They are the worst at hitting home runs. They don't know how to produce runs for themselves.
You don't have a guy who's going to carry the offense.
Right.
Oh no, you do. Hanley Ramirez. He's so great. He's the most amazing player on the team.
I just
the next big poppy.
When I look at the roster, I just don't see a World Series team.
Can I go home?
You hear a lot of that.
I just
You're
don't
hear a lot of that out of that guy. Can I go home now?
That guy. They're sad.
You get a victory lap on Dustin Pedroia?
Why?
That fucking bum. That bum. You
I
guys
don't know
over
his,
it?
I don't know his stats.
Are you over it yet?
I'm just not excited about the Red Sox.
No, me neither. And I've said it before 100 times, and I don't think it's even this Red Sox team's fault. I don't enjoy this team. I don't like John Farrell. I don't like David Price. I don't like a lot about this roster. But 2004 to me ruined the Boston Red Sox because I will never, ever watch anything that cool again. Like, I'm not going to survive an 86-year drought. I'm probably not ever going to see a 3-0 comeback against the Yankees of all teams. There will never be the build-up that there was in 2004 again in my lifetime. So with the Patriots, like, it's still happening. So, like, it's easy for me to still be excited because what if they win 6? What if they win 7? Now, in 25 years, and let's say they win like 2 or 3 Super Bowls out of 4 or 5 years, I'm like, yeah, that's great. It's great, but it's never going to be better than Tom Brady and the Patriots in my lifetime. You're never going to see a guy win 5 again or whatever. So with the Red Sox, I've just lost interest since every World Series they win. I'm like, it's great. I root for them. I want them to be good. I just lost my passion because I just don't care as much. It's never going to be that cool.
You asked if, like, we had jumped off that bandwagon about Pedroia. I would have been, I'll ride and die with you, bro, until he, like, basically it was like, I'm supporting Price. I've got this. Dude, I'm good. I'm good with you.
Can I go home?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right,
this season proved to me how much of, like, he's a front-running player, and he's not a captain.
I think people would be excited about this team if you had a season just go by where, like, the most home runs in baseball have been hit in the last, like, however many seasons. And you don't hit any.
Right. It's crazy.
You're so far in last place.
They're like several hundred over the all-time record.
Your team leader is Betts. And he's like at 30. I think he's at like 32.
Is he that high?
Yeah, it's like 32.
Jeez.
And it's
I
like,
didn't even know it was that high.
But that's the thing is, you didn't even hear about that because the rest of the fucking team doesn't hit anything.
Right.
Your supposed
he
home
might be
run
the team leader by a large margin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like,
your
next is probably like 20 or 21 or something.
Your quote unquote power hitter, your fucking DH that's a bum.
Right.
He's not doing shit.
But what I'm saying, in a season where you're like 700 home runs over.
Right. No, I don't know if it's 700. I think it's several. Like, I think it's like several hundred. I think it's like 200 or 300 over.
Yeah, that's still a lot.
Yeah, it's like, right.
Hundreds of home runs over the second highest.
Right.
And you just are still playing like the old times. That's just I'm not a fan of baseball enough to the point where I'm like really excited about singles for
small ball Red Sox. Yeah.
If they did
and
that,
they limped into the playoffs. Like,
I want them to play well.
Here's the deal.
I don't want it to feel like this is a Boston sports show where like, we hate the Red Sox. Like, I want them to win the championship this year.
I always root for the Red Sox.
Could you get behind them if every time Sale goes out, he pitches good. He doesn't have to pitch lights out, but pitches good. Throws, strikes out 6 or 7 every time he goes out, and your team's hitting doubles, stealing bases, but putting up runs.
Oh, yeah.
You could live with it, right? Like, but they're not putting up runs.
Yeah, and that's the problem with baseball. A, it's boring. B, I lost my interest in it. C, I don't feel like this team has any likability except for win, dance, repeat. When the outfield does their dance, like, okay, that's cool.
Your young players are the only reason why you're watching this. Devers came up and played lights out for a month, and he's come back to earth. His fucking Pablo Sandoval body is catching up to him, and he's only fucking 19.
Yeah, really.
It'd be another thing too if they didn't limp into the playoffs and they were 8 of their last 10 or 9 of their last 10.
If they were the Indians this past month,
I would be excited about. But they just. And this is a problem with a lot of Red Sox teams is I feel like they like just limp.
They backpedal. They backpedal all the time. They stumble their way into the playoffs. You're absolutely right. But obviously you guys had them lose in 3 or 4. I say they win in 5. I think the starting rotation is talented enough to where they can win some games.
I think you only win Sale. Yeah. He's the only thing that keeps you in that game.
I think the Verlander's game 2, I believe, for the Astros, and I think the Verlander-Pomerantz game, if you win that game, I think you win the series. Because if you win Sale, then you go up 2-0. That's you win that series.
I mean, they seem like a team that they're very, because they are young, very front-running team.
Right.
If they're not playing with a chip on their shoulder.
If they win, they win. I'll be pumped. But
I think you're running into a buzzsaw.
when the Celtics were playing, and I was like, I need to see them win a series.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
For the Red Sox, I don't. Not only do I need to see them win a series, I think I just need to see them get into the World Series. Like, I won't believe in this team until they're actually in the World Series.
Until they're up like fucking 3-2 in a best of 7 in the World Series. But this team could win a World Series.
No,
maybe.
I guess.
For me, they just have to make it. If they can make the World Series, then I would be like, oh, well, then obviously I sold this team.
I think the rotation's good. I like the David Price in the bullpen. I hope they keep that.
I was going to say, I almost feel like...
Do you think Price stays with that? Like, you think he gives them shit?
Especially if they make the World Series.
If he wins a title that way, and he becomes a valuable pitcher again, it might be his best bet. Because if he starts in the playoffs and gets tanked, you're done.
That's what I was going to say. Over. I feel like if you feel this series is kind of like you said, it's like you get up, 2 games.
Right.
I feel like it almost feels like you got to hand him the ball in game 3.
If you're up 2-0?
Yeah. I feel like you got to.
Why?
He just
got bad history.
But I feel like he's the guy that he's supposed to be.
Talented.
He's supposed to be.
But maybe you're up 2-0.
Right. Pressure's not on him.
So the best way to have a confidence-building start would be to give it to him now. Where
as opposed to game 1.
Even if he loses
the series isn't on the line.
He could still, you still have a 1-game lead.
That's not a bad logic either. Yeah, I get it.
I just think that's if you're up 2 games,
you can pitch Sale again.
Right.
Yeah.
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 He would be your 5.
Well, at that point,
So you still have Sale on the back burner. Like, if this thing,
right. And you could go Sale game 4 if you wanted to, but also you could.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like if you
what I'm saying is if you lose the game with Price, you could be like, fuck it, Sale.
Oh,
and we'll.
There you go.
And we'll play. Yeah, we'll figure it out in the next series.
Yeah.
If you get lucky and you win the first, hypothetically you win the first one, lose the second one, but close, and you go Price.
Right.
If you don't win that game, you got to go Sale. But I almost it's just like
and then you got to go Pomerantz for game 5.
I would almost say you got to go Pfister for game 5 just to throw him off.
Yeah.
I'm a weird guy like that. I like to throw a guy in there that they haven't seen in the series.
If Pfister doesn't make your top 3 starters,
why is he pitching your last game?
Honestly, you probably pitch Pfister 4 if you lose the game with Price, and then you keep Sale just in case.
I was gonna say that, but it just seemed like they feel the way he's managing this year. He seems like, hey, no, I got to win this, and Sale's my chance.
Right. I agree with that.
He looked bad at the end of the season. Not bad, but he was giving up home runs like it was fucking candy.
Yeah.
Coming up on Halloween, he's handing them out.
Yeah, trick or treat, bro. Real quick to move on to the Boston Celtics. Had the preseason debut last night. Looked good. They beat the Hornets 94-82 or 92-84, something like that. Kyrie Irving is mediocre in the game. He was 4 for 11, 9 points.
He had a
5 rebounds, 4 assists, big dunk. Had a big dunk. Al Horford was second on the team in assists. I said on this podcast months ago, Al Horford will probably lead the team in assists.
I need to confess something, Dave.
Hit me with it.
And that is that I am starting to lean a little towards your basketball being the top sport thing in 10 years.
Absolutely.
Slowly.
Okay, that's fine. Whenever you're ready.
And I don't know if I'll ever fully hop over that line.
Yeah.
But I was watching whatever I was watching last night, and I saw, Celtics preseason is on.
Yeah.
And I didn't turn the game on. I was looking at the highlights, but it sprung into my mind that I don't think I've ever been more, as a person who doesn't watch a lot of basketball outside of the Celtics, I don't think I've ever been more hyped for an NBA season than I am for this upcoming NBA season.
I would say even more than that. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but for the whole NBA season.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Just for the NBA Celtics to come back.
I want to watch the Thunder. I want to watch the Timberwolves. I want to watch Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
I want to watch the Sixers. I want to see how all these different things work out. I'm not saying they're all going to be great. I'm just saying. So you don't want to watch the train wreck?
I want to watch.
We do that all the time.
I want to watch.
So what you don't.
Lonzo
So
Ball
you don't want to watch Lonzo succeed
and
or
root
fail.
against him.
I don't want to see him play at all.
Why?
He is the ugliest shot I've ever seen.
That's not the ugliest shot ever. No,
that is fucking
that's not
in the NBA right now. It is god awful.
Kevin Martin was an all-star, and he has a pretty awful shot.
Sean Marion.
Yeah,
shoot it out from his nipples.
fucking Michael Beasley.
Yeah, no, that guy.
Sean Marion used to shoot it from his nips.
Yeah, he had an ugly
no, I'm
shot.
just saying, like he's just, and I'm not sold on him. So like,
but that's what I'm saying. So don't you?
I don't want to see a train wreck. No, because at this point, like, I'm so hyper focused on what the Celtics are going to do and how well I feel that they're going to play, and like. Game 1's going to tell me how this season's going to go.
Yeah,
even if you lose to Cleveland, if it's a fucking shootout and out of nowhere LeBron James gets a fucking late foul and that's how the game ends, I'm going to be like, this is going to be a great season. It's going to be a great season as a Celtics fan.
Right. I think it's just the draft class is so intriguing to me. Like Josh Jackson, I want to see what he does in Phoenix. And
I don't. I want to see Fultz, though. I want to see how he does.
I just think
because you could have had him.
The whole 76ers experiment, like I've been a critic of the
trust in the process
the whole time. Mm-hmm. I'm not an NBA lover. I never have been. Like I like the NBA. I buy the game, the video game every time it comes out. And I like the Celtics, and I always watch the Celtics. I've never gone out of my way to watch,
I think
Raptors Nets that's on television. You know what I mean?
I think 20 of the 30 NBA teams this year are really interesting.
But I'm saying this might be the year where it's like, oh, there's an NBA game on.
Right.
Oh, Oklahoma City Warriors are on right now.
Right.
I need to watch that game. Or it's Rockets Timberwolves. Like, maybe I'll go watch that.
The NBA, I think, had the best year product-wise, even branding-wise. You know what I mean? Like you said, because they did such a good job winning in the offseason, even, where it was interesting all year. People are, even if you don't give a shit about the players, you're curious, like, oh, Chris Paul signed here, or this guy did this. It's just news. Yeah. I know what I'm saying. I know you don't give a shit about the player, but it's news. It's something that we talk about. It's conversation. I got you. You're reading it. Like, it's just
I was going to say, like, there's certain games, like you are saying, like, there are certain very few games, like, the whole thing in Houston, like, I don't want to watch that dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see... I just don't think that's going to work. For some reason, I have confusions about that.
No, I do too.
It's the same thing with OKC. Like, yes, I'd like to see OKC against the Warriors for the simple fact I want to see
Durant
Westbrook. But at the same time, I'd rather watch... Like, I'm never going to watch Miami versus, San Antonio.
Right.
Like, I get it. There's players on San Antonio that are really good.
Right.
And there's, one player on Miami. Mm-hmm. But, I'm not going to watch that. Orlando sucks.
Right.
Like, there's some teams that are just... They are dumpster fires, and you're not worth watching.
Don't get me wrong.
Charlotte.
I'm still the guy that will watch, Indianapolis versus the Jets.
Yeah, I won't do that.
No, I wouldn't either. That's what I was going to say. Like, it's getting to that point where I'm hammering down on whether I want to watch that or not.
I watched the Patriots and
I'm still that guy who will watch that. But I'm saying now that interest might shift into basketball too, where I might not watch the Knicks Nets, because they're two teams that I might watch it just for Porzingis actually.
Yeah, but I was going to say if it's
that's the only thing that would have made me more
if it's the
if Porzingis was a Celtic.
Yeah, no, there's some teams in the NFL that it's no point of watching it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's also if you have Kansas City playing right now, they're undefeated. They have to play Seattle.
Right.
In Seattle. That's a game worth watching.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Denver, the division's on the line right now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Those are worth games, but there are games in this season. There's going to be players that you want to see them in new cities. Mm-hmm. But yes, I want to see Minnesota, how they would play against some of the dominant teams in the West. I want to see that.
That's kind of the point. Where I think last year or years prior, I wouldn't care about the development of other teams. And I do in the NBA, but I think for the casual NBA viewer, I think there's more of that, I wonder how trust in the process works in Philly. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're on. I'd like to see the five of them play together.
And the thing is that's working for the NBA is a long time for the complaint about the NBA is that you have two teams, and then from there on, nothing else is interesting. It's going to be those two teams. And they're getting a little bit closer, slowly, to a parity where instead of two teams, now there might be...
four.
this year there might be 4 that honestly have a shot at making it to the finals, and then next year it could be 6, and then the next year, as they slowly build, and teams like the Lakers might suck this year, and then if LeBron shifts to the LA, now the whole dynamic has changed, and that elevates a couple teams in the East to.
And then it's Boston and whomever comes out of the West.
Yeah, Boston just runs away with the East.
So it's
now. What do you think about? There's two quick things. Marcus Morris and Marquise Morris, are found not guilty. So we got
don't have to worry about them.
We got Marcus Morris.
Or don't have to worry
good
about
to go.
him.
Yeah, good to go. And what do you think of the NBA All-Star Game being merged? Did you see this?
Is that because they don't think the East can produce a team that's worthwhile?
Adam Silver said it's because they scored 374 points combined last year, and they don't think they take it seriously. So what they're doing is they're letting, kind of like the hockey and NFL approach now, mostly hockey, where you 2 highest vote getters pick their teams.
You want to know what they should?
And you can go either conference.
This is how every All-Star game should be from here on out, and I don't understand why they do this. I understand that you want to have the fans vote because of for
it should be a peer voted thing.
It should be their peers pick so many people, and from there the fans get to vote.
Right.
That
so
stops
they pick 20 people from each conference, and then you pick 10.
That stops Kobe Bryant from making an All-Star game when he's awful. For
40 years old or whatever.
Here we
go. No. I was going to say, like, you watch how many times in like the NFL there's a corner or even a
baseball.
I was going to say players.
In the NFL, a lot of times it's because a lot of those guys turn it down, so they just keep going down the list until they get someone.
Cal Ripken.
Right.
His like last year that he made the All-Star team.
In the NHL,
they moved him, like it was just you watch it and you're like, oh Jesus, who cares?
In the NHL, like last year, they put some guy in the All-Star game that was like he had like 1 goal in his whole career, and he was in that third. He was like He was barely on an NHL roster. We talked about that
on the podcast when we did it. I forgot his name. It was some guy. Yeah, he was like the leading vote getter for some reason. It was some like viral thing where they voted in some.
He was like barely on an NHL roster. Like he was on a minor, like a minor league NHL team.
Yeah, he was in the AHL or something like that.
And he played like 1 game in the NHL, scored a goal,
so
and
he
they
was
got like
up for it, and they all voted him in, and then he fucking like dominated the All-Star game.
He played really well. Yeah, right. Yes, that's all I got for Celtic stuff. Also, Jaylen Brown says that. Did you see these comments? A little weird. Not bought in. Not really sure how I feel about the Isaiah trade. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. When I first got here, it was all about the culture in Celtics basketball. Then you trade away Isaiah. What is Celtics basketball? So
see that I call bullshit, because when you listen to the guys that they have gone out and got, who's the one guy they all talk about and how excited they are to play for him?
Brad Stevens.
Thank you very much.
Right.
So if it's Celtic, I think culture, he created it.
To me, Brad Stevens is Celtics basketball.
Yes, he is right now. The history of Celtics basketball is like hope, like never giving up the hope. Like it's the try-hards, the Larry Birds, the outcasts kind of. And with Bill Russell being a black athlete in a white time, Larry Bird being a white athlete in a black game, you know what I mean? Like it's always been about the what-if moment at the end.
A midget.
And then Isaiah Thomas, right? So that he played very much into the Celtic pride type thing of a guy that just tried harder and he fit the Celtic pride thing. I get that notion. Like you gave up the guy that represented Celtic Celtic pride. But hey, you're better. Like you're better without him.
It's also a business, like
right? Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day,
not sure how I felt about that.
The only thing I would say to him is, did you really expect the Celtics to re-sign him at the end of the season?
It just sounds like a young, naive player,
right?
Well, or a young
who just hasn't experienced the league on that level yet,
or a young player that spent a whole year with Isaiah that had a great mindset for Boston, saw how much he was loved,
right.
And then goes, "Oh, you guys got rid of him?" Like.
Right.
And then all the trade talk about him.
Right, yeah.
Like he's youthful mindset and the fact that you got rid of the guy that he probably wanted to be. Like looking at the way he handles himself in the media and everything, that's the guy I want to be.
Right.
Look at him. He came out, his sister died and he came out and played and scored 40 points.
I'm so excited for that game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Cavs Celtics.
But he's not playing, is he?
Who, Thomas? No, he won't be.
Thomas won't be playing.
He's out indefinitely.
Will he be at the game?
He'll be there, yeah.
I'm excited for the reaction.
In Cleveland.
Oh, it is?
In Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, he won't be coming to Boston.
Yeah.
Well, when
not
they
until
do
later,
come to Boston.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I'm excited for the reaction. I'm actually I'm interested to see the reaction Kyrie gets in Cleveland.
Booed.
He's gonna get booed.
Booed.
Yeah.
he's gonna get
Booed bad.
because he wanted out.
Yep. Yeah.
The thing is, though,
I hate that. I think I know where you're going to go. You can't have it both ways, NBA criticizers. Kevin Durant leaves. They call him a puss because he joins a super team, right? Kyrie Irving says, hey, I don't want to be second fiddle. I want to be the man. Goes to a team where he's the strongest player. He's the best player on the team. And everyone's like, oh, what are you thinking? Don't you want to play with LeBron? What's wrong with you?
I also don't.
Why do we criticize a guy?
I don't know if that's why he left.
Well, yeah, I mean, he won't really say, but the word is that he didn't want to be. He didn't want to play in LeBron's shadow.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's
because
I don't want to be held captive by LeBron because what am I going to play for this team another year and then LeBron leaves and we suck again?
That's
I don't
exactly
want
what
that
I was
to happen.
thinking.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
he
I'm
was
going to
be
strike out on my own, make my own decision.
He was going to be the little Dutch boy with his finger in the dam, going, guys, I'll hold it together as long as I can.
Right, yeah.
Go get tape. Go get glue.
Yeah, exactly.
Go get some
But
plaster.
to me, if LeBron's leaving and you wanted to not be under LeBron's shadow, wouldn't you want to stay?
Yeah,
Right.
And if you
So
know,
that's where. Yeah,
I
for
think
some
he was
reason.
like, I don't want to have to wait and see. I want to know.
But even regardless of what his real intentions may have been, what the word was that he wanted to not be Robin anymore. You know what I mean? So if that's true, then why are people like, you dummy, you could have played with LeBron. Why would you leave? And then get mad at Kevin Durant for joining up with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes no
it's,
sense.
Yeah. That's the part of it where I'm just like, you gotta look at it, man. Like, you gotta look at it. Open, you know.
I was going to ask you, what do you think of like the random GE logo?
I like it.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
This is
I'm
going
just saying
back
I
to,
saw it and I laughed.
Yeah.
Like I was like, GE,
It's happening. Yeah.
that's my stove.
This
Like,
is going back to like things that have like NBA has been making really good moves.
Right. The advertisements work.
For like what I think like to add interest to the sport. They've done a great job of cultivating individual player personalities, especially with like the Twitter presence of all of their players. They're constantly on Twitter, like talking
nickname
back
jerseys.
and forth. Yeah. And the switch from who was it, Reebok who did or Adidas who did their jerseys?
it used to be Adidas.
To Nike,
Right.
And Nike redesigned all of them, and they
Revamped
did
them.
away with the home away jerseys,
and away jerseys,
and
yeah.
now it's just the home team picks whichever jersey they want,
Right.
and the
Away team has to
picks
contrast it.
So that's a fucking great idea.
It really is. Yeah. I really like that idea.
It's, you know what it is? I'll to those 2 points. One, I give credit with if you're going to give them props for putting like advertisement on their jersey.
As long as it doesn't get out of hand.
WNBA, the WNBA started that like 10 years
the
ago.
NBA tested it in the
Yes,
WNBA.
they've
You're
been
right,
doing
yeah.
it forever.
As long as it doesn't get out of hand, like the single GE
Yeah, you can't
logo
look like a NASCAR. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I don't
kind of
wanna-
where
it
it
could
might
go
go.
that way.
I don't
That's
wanna
what's
turn
scary.
I don't want to turn into the Euro League where they
Right.
have them all over.
That's
right.
what they might want
the
to do.
single, like the single ad, like you have one advertising spot.
Well, I think
Whoever pays the most money for it
Gets it for a
that's where
month
it's
or
gonna
whatever.
go.
Right?
Well, gets it for the year. You should do like a year deal. Hey, but that's the problem is the NBA wants to go so high with their money. It's every month there's going to be a new sponsor.
Right.
So like if you get a jersey, you want that GE jersey.
Right.
You're probably not going to get it because it's only going to be there for a month.
Yeah, but that helps jersey
jersey
sales.
sales.
No, because they're not going to put that logo on it. They'll put just nothing.
They'll put. I don't know. Maybe
Right
you
now-
make it
yeah,
more.
you don't buy an advertisement as a consumer. I don't know.
Maybe you
That's
make
what
it
I'm
more
saying.
specialized though. Like
Yeah.
they only
And
ran the
maybe you
GE
could sell the
jerseys for
GE
so
jerseys.
long.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, they could.
And then like the other thing that you were saying about that, what was it? What was the other part? The colors and stuff.
Yeah.
All that reminds me of is freaking college football.
yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
but
think
college football is, I love when they do
No,
all the
but-
different.
but
Like
the two-
Oregon is like one of the coolest.
I was going to
teams.
say the two teams that are hugely sponsored by Nike,
Right.
Oregon and Boise State.
Right.
Those teams, every
Two best
game,
uniforms in college.
every game, they are changing there is not a they don't wear the same jersey
The redesigned-
scheme every game.
The redesigned Timberwolves jerseys
Awesome.
are so fucking
so
good.
good. So good. I love
They're
those.
so
jerseys.
good.
See what's funny is I like some of their older, like when Garnett first started. I
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
jersey.
yeah.
Like I'm not downplaying the new
No, I
one,
got
but
you.
there
Yeah,
are
yeah.
some
They
jerseys
have
that I like the old
Golden,
style.
Is it the Golden State City jerseys? Like the
Yeah.
city, they say?
Yeah, the city. Yeah. Yep. I like
They're
those.
just-
I really like the. I like the Celtics blackout ones.
Yeah,
Those are
the
fucking
Celtics
dope.
blackout ones are
So
awesome.
good,
I
yeah.
even think for some reason that the
Celtics white ones, the classic white
Celtics white ones and the green ones look better
They
for
do.
some reason.
Yeah. No, it's like they do.
They just
look
pop.
sharper.
They pop more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, they're sharper.
I don't know if it's
and
like
they
the
pop.
material they used, if it's
probably
different.
is, yeah,
But for some reason, they
It's
just
kind of like the football jerseys. Remember, like around the neck, all the stuff that's not mesh turned when Nike did it a couple years ago. Remember, they started doing the V lines at the neck and everything. So there's that slight little twinge in whatever the fabric is that makes it just pop, makes it look better. And I think that you're absolutely right.
they've been experimenting with the T-shirt jerseys and shit. Like, I like all that.
Right. I think they haven't done anything bad in a long time. You know what I mean? I don't think they've made a bad move in a while. I think everything they try works, and then if something doesn't work, then okay, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? We're going to get rid of it, whatever. So I really like the also, not to do too much NBA talk, the draft was revamped too. You see that? The 3 worst teams in the NBA now all have equal odds.
To try and stop tanking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all get 14% of the balls as opposed to number 1 getting 25, 20, 15, or whatever it is. So I think that's another thing. So now games are more competitive at the end of the year and whatever.
Yeah, you're forcing teams to play, not just sit their players.
Right, exactly. So before we wrap up, I have one quick Balk Talk for you guys.
Go ahead.
We good?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a balk.
Tommy Heinsohn was in mid-season form last night, and
He's always in mid-season form.
this is one of the creepiest things I've ever heard in my life. So let's check out Tommy Heinsohn talking about Aaron Baynes.
I'll tell you, I took a look at Baynes in the shower. He looks like all of Australia. He is really put together.
So,
Is he talking about dick?
I don't want to go there.
Is he talking about his dick, though?
Yeah, it sounds
I
a
saw him in
little.
the shower. He looks like all of Australia.
He should have been
well
like,
put together.
listen, this dude is jacked.
He's jacked.
Like that would have ended the conversation.
But is he talking about his dick, though? Or is he talking about...
That's the word on Twitter. I mean, Twitter blew up last night. Like, did Tommy Heinsohn just say that Baynes has a big cock? Like, what are we doing?
Shocking that the 6 foot, whatever, white power forward has a big dick.
From
Is he like
Australia.
6'10"?
He looks like all of
something like
Australia.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But is he talking about his dick, though? Like, or is that just like a...
Like, why didn't you just say, like, I've seen that guy, he is ripped.
Is he
He's
trying
a
to say he's
mountain-
in really good shape?
He's
or is
a
he trying
mountain
to
of a
say,
man.
like...
He has
He got a fucking dick,
continent-sized dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what he's saying, he's not the guy from what was it? What's the one with Ben?
Also, why is Tommy Heinsohn in the showers?
What's the movie? Brendan Fraser, where he like he wants to change his life, and the devil keeps giving him.
Oh,
like
is that the one with
Bedazzled or...
Bedazzled?
Is that
Yeah.
Bedazzled?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
And
yeah.
he like he wants to be the greatest basketball player, wants to be an athlete, and she makes him the greatest basketball player of all time. He sweats like it's raining out, like it's downpouring a tsunami, and he but yet he has like the tiniest dick in the world. Right. Like, so basically, what you're saying is he's the opposite of that.
He's the opposite of that.
Is he talking about his dick,
talking
though?
about his dick, though. So I just wanted you guys to feast on that for a little while.
What is that?
It's just
I mean, I know he's not.
You got to think about it. He's
he
such
is.
an older gentleman
Right.
that he doesn't think that sounds weird.
I saw Aaron Baynes in the shower, and let me tell you,
He could
this
have just
guy
said,
is
"I
all
saw
of
him."
Australia.
What is going on in the game where that comes up?
Right.
I think he made a dunk.
Yeah, he just
or something like
somebody
that.
out or something.
Yeah, he was
He's a
very.
big dude. Yeah,
he was
He
using
wrapped
his.
dick around a dude's throat and like fucking pulled him down.
Yeah,
He
it's just
swatted a basketball with his cock.
He wore his own dick as a belt. Like that was it. So I don't
He
know.
got hard fouled and his dick came out of his pants. Like,
I was
hey,
watching
I
the
saw him
game
in
last
the shower.
night. I heard that live, and I was like, "Well, I got a Balk Talk for tomorrow."
What's your problem with it, Dave?
Huh?
I just don't understand what. How's that a
sounds
Balk
creepy.
Talk? That
Just
could
sounds
be.
creepy.
I don't
I'm
think-
not mad at it if he's praising the guy.
If we had both, I was going to do both. Like, I'm going to Balk Talk Tommy Heinsohn. I'm not mad at it. Aaron Baynes
Just packing some heat.
Yeah.
One, I don't think Tommy Heinsohn should be allowed in the showers.
What
Like,
are you doing there? Right.
Well,
getting some data for the game. Like,
hey,
no,
they're all adults.
Right. They are all adults.
Let's keep Tommy Heinsohn out of the shower. One,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and two, what? Oh, it's a good block by Baynes. You know he has a giant dick.
That's it.
Little known fact about Baynes, he's from Australia, grew up in the small town of whatever, and he has a giant elephant trunk dick.
So,
He actually has to tuck it into his sock when he plays basketball. That's why he wears that leg sleeve. Little known fact.
I think the name of this episode is going to be "He's Well Put Together."
Is he talking about his dick?
I don't know.
No.
Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. Or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive BS Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters B.S.N. ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerd 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
Closing time, nerds.
All right. Do you guys have anything you want to do for closing time?
I put out a podcast.
There it is. All right. Hashtag I put out a podcast.
At this point, you guys know what Joe's Fantasy Field Goal is.
You get it.
Go listen. I'll give you your streaming things. Pro tip, one of them is not Jay Cutler.
Yeah, don't do that.
As I've expressed previously in this podcast, that my feelings on Jay Cutler now.
So that he's probably going to die in a cigarette fire.
I want him to die in a cigarette fire.
Okay.
I'd imagine Jay Cutler laying in bed in his
falling asleep
Miami hotel room. By the way, did you guys see the Miami game at all?
No.
Or the highlights of it?
No.
They run a wildcat play.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right? So Jay Cutler is split out at wide receiver.
Yeah.
He is... You have to go look up the video.
Does he run off the field?
He doesn't move. He is in no threat of getting a offside penalty.
Yeah.
He stands there, I'm not joking, hands on his hips.
Yeah.
Stands over split out as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
From the moment they line up till after they say hike, the whole play is run. He never takes his hands off his hips, never moves.
Wow. That's intense.
I mean,
that makes sense.
I just imagine they
Did you feel like he wanted a cigarette at that point?
I just imagine they called the play.
This is my cigarette break, guys.
They called the play.
Yeah.
He's just like, we're gonna run this fucking wildcat bullshit. Fucking walk as he's walking over. As he split out wide, just fucking nonsense. You're gonna put some fucking running back at quarterback. Fucking bullshit. All right, when's this shit gonna be over?
Cursing their name.
Gase, get one of the cigarettes. Hey,
give me a cigarette.
You got my cigarette, Jay. It's gonna be one play.
Someone give me a cigarette.
It's so funny, all of the fucking Photoshop cigarettes that people put into his mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I put out a podcast. It'll have all your fantasy advice. Go listen to it.
Check that out.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm gonna do another episode of WECP. Yeah. So check that out.
So we do a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah. So kind of a teaser of like what I'm going to talk about and what's kind of reeling through my mind. And I didn't really shout it out last week because we got a little derailed by our conversation.
Yeah.
The greatest manager, probably one of the best bumpers, one of the best workers of wrestling, died last week. He had many fights with cancer and had his jaw literally removed to fix the throat cancer. Jeez. Changed his voice, which was his calling card through most of his career. Bobby the Brain Heenan, my favorite manager. And when I talk about when they talk about all these, how horrible the commentary is now in wrestling. Mm-hmm. It should be a 2-man booth, so you don't have 3 people fighting for fucking time. Mm-hmm. Like when we talk, for the most part, we're pretty good about it, and we also don't have a person in our ear telling us what to do like they do now.
Right.
Back then, that man went off the cuff off of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was just a mastermind wordsmith. Like, he just knew what you were going to say before you said it, and then he had a fucking comeback for it.
Right.
How long you married? Yeah. How long you been married for? About 21 years. If you killed her at your wedding day, you'd be out by now. Like, shit like that. Like, he would just, like that. He had it going. He had it ready.
That's funny.
And it's like, and just, and he always had his beef with Hulk Hogan pretty much his whole career. Like, he was always shitting on him. I don't know if they didn't like each other.
Right.
But it always seemed cool that, like, no matter where he was, no matter what Hulk Hogan was doing, he always had a beef with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So it was like he never forgot.
That's cool.
I heard someone say that Bobby the Brain Heenan was the best thing wrestling ever put out. Like, him, but not, like, if you boil it all down, best wrestler, best announcer, best manager, anything related to the WWE, someone said Bobby the Brain Heenan is the best.
Is the best. Yeah.
He went on, I think it was...
tough to argue.
It's just, he's one of those guys, like, he just had the gift for gab, as they say.
Yeah.
And he just knew what to say. He wasn't illiterate, but he wasn't a great writer. He had 2 books, I think, but he had somebody that helped him write it. But he just knew what to say. Like, he knew how to talk.
Yeah.
The guy quit school in middle school to take care of, help supplement the income with his mom because she was a single mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just a guy that started out from humble beginnings and made it all the way to there.
Right.
And then to see him in later years, even at his, Hall of Fame speech, he had, at that point he already had cancer. He had the surgery on his throat. His voice had changed. His teeth were all messed up, but his wit and everything was still there. The best tandem of all time. Bobby the Brain and Gorilla Monsoon. Like, just the dynamic between the two of them. Would you stop it? Like, just him getting yelled at by Gorilla and then him, like, having a little quip back to Gorilla, like, asking him where his costume was because he's a gorilla.
Right.
You know what I mean? The stuff like that. Like, just messing with him. And just, they actually, like, in real life were good friends.
Of course, yeah.
And just to see nowadays, it just seems like there's no personality.
Right.
It's all what Vince McMahon wants you to do.
It's all script, yeah.
But R.I.P. the Weasel.
Absolutely.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
For sure. Yeah. And that's what you're going to be doing some of that on WCW?
Some of that, yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. I look forward to that. I have a podcast that I put out, but I'm not here to talk about that podcast. We got a bunch of things going on. And we changed the name to the network, the B.S.N. Network, because we were able to acquire, as you may have seen on our Facebook post, the Box Seat Boys, good friends of Joe's here, that used to do a show. They were consistently ranked in the top 10 on iTunes for sports category podcasts, up to like third, I think, third or fourth one day.
Yeah, they got way up there.
They got in the top 5 at least once or twice. And so they're going to be putting out a podcast. So
it'll be on our feed.
On our feed every Wednesday.
Yep.
It may be, the time may vary on Wednesday, but definitely by Thursday morning it'll be published. So we're really excited to have them. It's Josh Dow and Joel. It's a big acquisition for us, I think, to be able to get some more talent, some more shows, because we've always looked to produce more content. Be it that Aaron has his show bi-weekly, I have mine bi-weekly. Joe produces the Fantasy Field Goal. Also,
they will be a weekly show.
Yeah, they're going to be every week.
Every week, and they cover general sports.
Yep.
We are going to be very Boston focused.
Yep.
And they will cover all of the
national stuff,
national sports coverage.
Right. You'll get Dodgers talk if there's something to talk about the Dodgers.
Where we lack in baseball coverage, they will more than make up. They are 2 ex-baseball players. They're very passionate
baseball info,
about baseball, but they're also diehard sports fans in general. So
it's going to be a good show. They used to put out a good show, and I think that it's real exciting for an opportunity for us and the whole network to kind of get together here. So absolutely check out the Box Seat Boys, which will be on our feed. Check them out, and every Wednesday, be on the lookout for them if you enjoy their podcast. Also, a friend of mine, Kevin, who you may have heard on Dave Speaks a couple times, me and him are going to be starting a podcast. We may have a third guy kind of rotate in, depending on who wants to come get lunch. But we're going to be doing reviews of local sports bars in our area, both in southeastern Connecticut, Rhode Island. We might even take a couple drives up to Mass and try different restaurants out or the other side of Connecticut. It's going to be called the 4-Star Sports Bar Review Podcast, and we're going to be reviewing the food, the football deals, the specials, the sports specials like wings, beer specials, whatever, the sports crowd, the ambiance, and we're going to get
beer selection.
Beer selection is going to be an important part. It's an important category. And we're going to try to make a video, like a little video for each one that'll be up on our YouTube channel. We'll have all the details for that as that stuff comes together. But that'll be put out bi-weekly on Mondays. So you'll have every Sunday either WECP or Dave Speaks.
Yep.
Every other Monday you'll have 4-Star Sports Bar Review.
Yep.
Every Tuesday you're going to have Joe's Fantasy Field Goal.
For as long as the NFL season is.
Yep. And then every Wednesday, you'll have the Box Seat Boys, and every Thursday, you're going to have the B.S. Nerds. We're going to lock in on that schedule going forward. So there's going to be a ton of shows for you. And we've been very, very busy reaching out to other podcasters, too, and try to see if maybe we can acquire some other shows and kind of create a nice little family network thing here where we can do more than just sports. So that's why we stepped away from the Boston Sports Nerds as the channel name, and it's the B.S.N. So we still represent the Boston Sports Nerds originality. But, for Sports Bar Review or for the Box Seat Boys, and what's pretty cool is that, like, the Box Seat Boys is BS. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then there's a bunch of things. So, like, there's the 4-Star Sports Bar, which is...
SB.
SB, right. Yeah. It's all in there.
Also, Box Seat Boys, great intro and outro music. I don't know who did that, but...
Yeah. I don't know the guy.
They have stupendous intro and outro music.
So
top of the line.
They do, and you can thank the common producer here with it, which would be Joe from Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, and also a couple segments, as we said here, are going to be changing, try and tighten it up, so it's going to be all Boston stuff. We're going to come up with an MVP, the Nerds' Most Valuable Player, where it's going to be Boston athlete. It's going to be That's Filthy. We got our first advertisement deal done. That's going to be taking place in November, so we look forward to that, getting that all hammered out. And closing time will probably turn into a segment called like the State of the Network, and we'll be able to kind of tease and talk about what we're doing with the other shows and how the other shows are doing and what to look forward to or look forward for, whatever, with the other shows. So that's all I got this week.
We ran through the
gambit.
We ran through the outro music. Nope. Yeah. That's how much news we have.
That's how much news we have.
But yeah, I'm excited about, and stay tuned because we might be adding more things to the network.
Right.
And that's the plan. That's why we switched to the network now.
Right.
The plan is to keep growing, keep putting out content.
Absolutely. So if any of you guys that are listening have a podcast,
if you're interested
in joining a network where we will promote the hell out of each other, let's do it. Reach out to us. You can at bsnerds or bsnerds@gmail.com or on Twitter at bsnerds, facebook.com/bsnerds, any of those things, Instagram. bsnerds. Yep.
Rate, review, subscribe, follow the Facebook page,
follow all of our podcasts.
If you already rated, reviewed, and subscribed,
do it again.
Yeah, just re-download.
Tell your friends to do it.
Yeah. Share
Tell
it.
your friends.
It's been a while since we did a rate, review, subscribe, and I think what better time than now that we got a whole bunch of things going on. So
this is a perfect time to subscribe to the feed.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.